you don't want to. Because guess what? It ain't stopping.
Okay.
You're going to sit back there, don't have a Bitcoin story. I've heard so many Bitcoin stories. If I had did this, that, and the other. And now you're mad because
I got the Zoom going.
26,000 that became billionaires in 2013. Because what did they do? Just sell Bitcoin. Most Bitcoin enthusiasts.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Just hold their coin and watch it work because we know that. You have to know about that. So that's a lot of it. You can put your figure it out. It's not that hard. We're here to that's it. If you have questions, just shoot us an email.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, cool. Trying something new tonight.
Doing some flips. Sweet.
I know, right? Yeah, you didn't know you were doing barrel rolls tonight, did you? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. I'm gonna try. I don't want it to fall, you know.
Yeah, just do it.
Try that.
I think that should work. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see us all right?
Yeah, how's it going, Ernest?
All right,
Yeah,
my friend.
wow.
Good to see you, my friend. I couldn't see you for the
Yeah, sorry I didn't make it in person. I was feeling a little under the weather, so I figured just be safe.
All right, but it's all good.
Oh yeah, appreciate that.
You know you're always welcome, hey?
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is doing something new tonight. I've never actually done this on the iPad before, so I appreciate your patience.
Yeah. That looks good right there. Where you zoom back out, now you're cutting off Ernest.
Yeah, well,
you
so I
can
can't.
hear me, brother. Just look at the lady. Though.
I know. Well, yeah, right. You don't want to see.
She's
me.
a little prettier than you, Ernest. No offense, but
Ernest is pretty. How dare you?
I don't think most men would want to be considered pretty.
No.
Hey, you know it's 2022.
But
man.
that's all right. Whatever your passion.
I like feeling pretty sometimes. It's okay.
You gotta love yourself.
David,
Right.
can you hear us? David Horowitz, you're muted if you can. Yeah, no worries. Well, cool. Well, I turned off the waiting room, so anybody else that tries to join should just should be able to. Yeah, maybe next time I'll bring like an Apple TV with me or something. I can like cast it over there.
You can cast it down if you want.
Do you? I don't know if I can from. I don't actually know.
Oh yeah, I don't think I have my Google Chrome plug in. Oh,
Yeah,
you don't
also
have-
this
you don't. Oh, you don't. Oh, you mean your Apple TV?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's
Yeah, you can do that.
David, you should be able to unmute yourself. Let me see if I can do it. It's hard on a let's see, I can ask you to unmute, but I can't force you to unmute.
I do. Are you in Bellingham?
Yeah, I do live in Bellingham.
Yeah.
I've been here since 1987.
Really?
Wow, I didn't know that.
You know what? Everybody says,
Yeah.
really? And I'm saying, what are they thinking? Black
Well,
man?
Well,
No,
no, it's more like you don't look that old.
That's
You
what,
know, I mean, that's part of it.
That means like,
Well, you don't think
that's
he's very
when I was
black.
born. That's
It's
what I'm
it's-
thinking too,
it's
but
how
I
you live
mean,
it.
yeah,
It's how you
yeah.
live
No,
it.
I've only been here a year, so.
Well, my
yeah.
oldest will be 43 years old in October.
Can I ask how old you are?
64 I just turned in
Oh,
November.
fantastic. You know that. You have to know that.
Yeah, it's how you live.
Oh my God.
Age is just a number.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should do an anti-aging.
And I went-
business.
I'm actually on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm only 27 because it prematurely aged me. So no, I'm kidding. I'm 42, but you know, I've had gray hair since I was 13 anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was sorry.
Hey, is your daughter single? No, I'm just kidding. Don't tell my wife I said that.
Oh my
Do
God.
not tell my wife I
Oh
said
my
that.
God.
I can feel myself
We have-
blushing.
we
I
have
know.
to.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's being recorded
Oh my
too. What was I
God.
thinking?
hey.
What was I thinking?
We're gonna
I was just
blackmail.
joking, just so you know. Kidding, honey, kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Not
run
that-
into
not
that
that
all
she-
the time. I
not
run
that
into
she
guys
ever
say,
watches.
So one guy told me, he said, Ernie, so how are you? I said, I just turned 64. He said, oh man, get out of here. You're a youngster. I said, what? And then somebody 2 days later told me, oh, get out of here. You're a youngster. I said, man, I guess I'm going to keep doing whatever I'm doing if I'm a
Yeah.
youngster.
You know, if there's one thing I found,
But
is
he was 84. He looked like he was in the 60s.
one thing I've found is no matter how old you get, there's always some old bastard to come and tell you that you're not, that you're a young kid.
Yeah, I
You
know,
don't
it's-
know
there
shit.
you go.
You know, there's always some old guy. Well, no.
I'm considered a baby boomer, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's how you live it. I mean, I feel good about who I am, right?
yeah.
That's the challenge that most people deal with throughout their life. I mean, if I told you the story, but that's not necessary. I tell people to be able to tell the story means I'm still here.
Mhm.
So if you get to know me well enough to know some of the challenges, because we all have challenges,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
Then you would say, wow, are you people like say that to me all the time? You been in Bellingham since 1987. You know
Well,
what they
where
whisper-
you-
You know what they whispered to me?
What?
He says, well, Ernest, how many black people up there? I said, well, you know, I never asked anybody.
Yeah.
I will
Doesn't matter.
I will say, you know, I grew up in Ohio and I never really thought of Columbus, Ohio as like super diverse
Right.
until I moved to Portland and literally like a whole bus full of white people, which I had never seen before. Like when you ride the bus in
I'm
Columbus,
from
it's like,
St. Louis. I'm
it's-
from
Oh,
St.
you're
Louis.
from St.
So
Louis?
I moved
So what's-
here and I'm like,
I'm from
wait a
Kansas.
second.
I'm
This,
from Kansas
it made
City,
me
Missouri.
uncomfortable.
what's funny is St. Louis
Yeah.
is the only time I've ever been the only white person on a bus.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, so I was like, this is really odd for me because I'm used to diversity. And I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
this is really strange.
Yeah.
And I would ask them, like, I lived in the room and they're all, you know, they're sitting there drinking their wine and they're, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think they even, it's just weird. But anyway, that's,
Well, I'm
anyway.
from Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, so you're Midwestern.
Grew up in the Wayne Project, still there.
Did you call it misery?
Misery. Yeah.
Missouri, yeah, I can see
Missouri,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah, I was not messing with
Yeah.
No, but in the, I grew up in the Wayne Projects. My mom was a mother of 8 of us. Single parent mom. I've never had the pleasure of meeting my father, so I don't even know what that's about. I'm not mad at him. I just don't know his story, but I've lived long enough, married 3 times, and a father and a grandfather. So what I've learned, there's 2 sides to the story
Absolutely.
and the truth.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with my side.
Yeah.
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 Also, I think an important life lesson is sometimes it's okay to learn what not to do for people too, right? Like even indirectly,
Exactly.
you know, like my dad, I knew my dad, but he committed suicide when I was really young. And that messed up my childhood, man. I mean, I was
Well,
a
that's-
10-year-old kid. Like,
That's kind of new to me because
Yeah.
one of my business partners committed suicide.
Oh, I'm really
12
sorry.
days ago.
wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. I know this last couple of years have been really hard on people, man. Like, I'm sorry to hear that. I know
Yeah.
that's
And I mean, he was financially secure because he had lots of
sure,
crypto.
sure. Well,
But he was driving home from
money ain't
Seattle,
everything, you know.
and he started to feel funny, you know, so that means it was probably late. So he calls our other business partner in Texas. But Joel and him are kind of like really, really close. So Joel immediately called 911. They took him to Skagit General. And I'm getting bits and pieces, you know, he's in the hospital. I said, well, what's going on? The first thing I thought was maybe he was just being stubborn about getting vaccinated, right? Because I've had a few friends in the last 6 months that passed away because they didn't get vaccinated also. So come to find out, I was told a few days later that they were releasing him. So I said, oh, okay, cool, right? 6 hours later, they said, well, Ernest, they readmitted. Okay, and they didn't give me, I didn't have any more information. And then I went to church a couple of weeks ago with my other business partner. And he said, Ernest, I got something to tell you. And he said, I didn't want to tell you because we want to preserve his legacy. He left behind a son, a little older than you, Dad, and a granddaughter. And basically, he got released. He went into the bathroom there and took off his belt after writing a note
Oh man.
and hung himself. And the only reason they knew is because people were trying to get in the bathroom. So they called security and when they opened it up, he was in there. They put him on life support. He hung on for about 3 days. And so 2 weeks ago, this past Friday, he passed away. So they cremated him. We're going to do in June remembrance memorial for him. So because he was very active in this too, and he's currently, well, not anymore, but
That's not anybody I know, is it?
no, you never met him.
Okay.
Yeah, you met Kyle, but
Yeah, I was gonna
he's
say
a
I know
good friend.
Kyle.
Yeah, he's a good friend of Howard Williams was his name.
Okay. I feel like I've heard Kyle maybe talk about him.
Yeah,
once
you've
or
heard
twice.
him.
Yeah.
Because he was very active in pretty much all of the businesses and crypto that were involved in. So yeah. So, you know, I mean, I'm trying to understand it never really hit me so hard because I knew it. I mean, Howard we did turnaround at ConocoPhillips 20 years ago. You know, and he had a big heart. He helped so many people. He told Howard that you were struggling with something. Howard just, well, how much do you need? Let's go and buy it. And he'd buy it for you. That's the kind of guy he was. So it was really kind of fresh. Just kind of trying to remember him as I knew him to be. But yeah, I was like, you know, I just was floored, basically. Yeah. For his son, he's angry. I talked to Dave.
Sure.
He's in Belize now, but
There's a
he's
whole
living.
range of emotions, you know,
Yeah,
that
you know,
whole
when
the
you
whole
find- 'cause we
cycle of
know-
grief.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
He's had a daughter that he's at some point. How do you explain that to your daughter, right? You know, that's her grandpa. You know, grandpa's not here.
I mean, I hate to say it like this, but hopefully too, if he was into crypto, hopefully he's taking some steps.
He left. He probably left him about $1 million plus. So.
That's well, so like that's you know, I'm probably overly paranoid about that kind of stuff. I tend to overanalyze like what I do, you know. That's why I ended up signing up with Casa, use their Casa Gold. It's like so do you? Yeah, it's like so Casa is like this managed multi-sig service. So basically like I have it set up so that I have a 2 of 3 signature wallet in order to access or move my Bitcoin.
Exactly.
And so 2 of those wallets are wallets so one is actually Casa, the company. So the company can act as a key in the case of an emergency. The other 2 keys are hardware wallets that I own. One of them is actually my wife's, but we have it set up so that she can access her crypto on it. And then I have another way to access it as a signing key for my 2 of 3. So basically, if something ever happened and I died, she doesn't have to worry about my hardware wallet at all. As long as she can prove to Casa with like a death certificate or something, right? And she's my wife, then they will act as that second key, and she knows how to use her hardware wallet. And then there you go. She can actually access.
What about people without spouses?
I mean, it depends on what you want to do with it, right? Like if you want to leave it to anybody, I mean, that same thing could work. You just have to make sure to have. Yeah, like if you have a kid, basically it would be your next of kin. So if it's legally somebody that's already considered your next of kin, right?
Yes.
Like if you don't have a spouse, it would automatically be your child anyway. Then I don't think you have to do anything extra, like legally. Whoever's handling your estate should be able to handle that on their behalf. But yeah, they do need to know it's there. It's a good thing to list it in your will if you have one. Yeah. I actually need to do a will. I don't have one. I have kind of an informal one.
I just did one probably a few months ago.
Did you use somebody local here?
No, I'm from St. Louis. So I started this like probably 3 years ago, and then the pandemic hit, and then it's been like a thing, right? So
what brought you to Bellingham? Just curious, from St. Louis.
To make a really long story short, I actually lived in Costa Rica for 3 years, and I was traveling to the States before the pandemic hit, and we got stuck in the States, and every month I was trying to get back to Costa Rica, but they weren't letting U.S. citizens back in. And I would just go for walks and be like, think. Anyway, I'm like, I have 50 states to choose from. My son came up to Bellingham from a family we had met in Costa Rica for the year. And he's like, Mom,
This is the spot.
yeah, he's like,
It's pretty cool.
I did more in 6 days than I did in 6 months. So St. Louis is just,
I know.
Hey, City Museum, come on.
well, that's pretty awesome.
City
Okay, one
Museum's
day.
cool,
Yeah.
like-
We should in the arch.
Nah, actually, when I went into the arch, there were literally people got in a gunfight while we were walking
Oh, that
up
sounds
to it.
about right.
And so we turned around and left. We didn't actually get to go up to the
should be
arch.
alive, though,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, my adrenaline was definitely pumping.
You don't feel that up in Bellingham.
No.
I always see the mean streets of Bellingham because I'm always joking because we're from St. Louis,
I
and it's
know.
like there's literally
I go
like,
to the same thing.
like Mayberry
I
is
see all
here.
these guys down there sagging, tattooed all over.
You're like,
The
okay,
gangsters, yeah.
I said, you know what? You guys need to come on a trip with me.
Right? That's what I
We'll be on the first Greyhound bus back. to
I see them
Bellingham.
with all their tattoos, and I'm like, you are a bunch of marshmallows.
I know.
And they look at me, I'm like, seriously, you
See,
are.
that's rare.
Yeah.
Nobody would
Hey, now some people with tattoos
Yeah.
are cool. Come on,
Yeah,
that's not.
yeah, I'm like,
You know what's up.
yeah, like you guys don't scare anybody
I know.
that knows anything.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't
Yeah.
anyway, so we wound up here just serendipitously, and we love it. So
That's
It's a beautiful place.
it is.
You get to see
Have
all
you-
the seasons.
You've been here 1 year.
1 year in December. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay, so you already
Little
had
over
your
a year.
first summer here. Because summer here is
Summer
spectacular.
was amazing.
It's
But I
spectacular.
loved it in the rain.
This was like
Yeah.
the worst winters in the 10 years I've been on the West
Since
Coast too.
1994.
So like, yeah,
Since
the winters aren't
1994.
normally this bad.
Yeah.
But even that, I just
Yeah,
think
I
with,
mean, it
with
wasn't
the
good to see the
mountains
weather.
and the,
You know
and
what
the
I'm
thing,
saying.
I'm like, this
She's
is
used to this ice on the.
Yeah,
Right.
same. I grew up in Ohio, so I'm used to
Yeah,
like
you know what's up.
literal icicles for 3 months.
depressing. It just seems like a bad dream, you know. And then it's like you can hear it's like a beautiful winter wonderland.
Lots
Yeah,
of trails.
yeah,
It's just. amazing.
yeah. It's,
Go to Oyster Dome if
I-
you've been up there. You
Yeah.
said
Oh,
you
yeah,
heard.
it's-
You
yeah.
figured it out.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to neglect our
I'm sorry,
online.
I don't
Oh,
know.
No,
no,
you're
you
fine.
gotta chime in there.
Yeah.
we live
But
Bellingham.
Just curious, how's the audio? I'm curious how this would work for other meetings that I'm in.
Audio's good. Do you have like an auto pan camera or something?
Yeah, so it's basically it's an iPad. It's a new iPad. They have a like a wide angle front facing camera.
Yeah.
It like tries to adjust. I wonder is it like
It
not?
Whoever's talking, so it'll it's focused in on you and Ernest, and then I don't know the lady's name, but it was on her when she was talking.
Yeah, sorry about
Laura.
that. I didn't
Yeah.
mean to go off on a tangent.
Oh, two ladies, sorry. I'm Eric, by the way.
Okay, nice to meet you.
I use another camera that's like a 360-degree meeting camera, and it's supposed to like detect who's talking and focus on them. The reality is that it doesn't do well because of echoes, and so I'm wondering if it'd be a similar thing here.
Well, you'll see it in the replay.
You hold it. There you
Yeah.
go. It's a whiteboard.
Oh,
You
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh, probably. You could probably, I don't know, you don't want to take a chance without it.
Yeah. So what I've been thinking about, the reason that I was curious how well this is working is because I think my next thing I might buy might be a tiny little projector.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, can you
that's a
think,
great
like, you know,
idea.
this
Yeah,
little guy
smart,
and a projector,
smart.
and then
Okay.
throw it in a little tiny suitcase?
Yeah.
Cool. It's like my
Yeah,
little.
a little man bag and a little.
Yeah,
I
but
prefer to call it a European set.
You'll look really pretty then, Dan.
what is the problem that you're solving with this?
I'm just a
setup?
gadget nerd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There is no real.
The
The problem is I don't have a cool little projector to go with my cool little
Yeah.
iPad.
needs
Yeah,
one.
that's
the
problem.
So he can tell his wife, hey, I know, honey, I just bought it, but now.
Yeah, and then the next thing I'll need to buy is one
Yeah.
of those inflatable screens.
For movie
Right?
night, yeah.
That you hook it up and it blows up, right? So I mean
Yeah.
that's
Hey, that's
because again, it's got to be portable. We're
Yes.
aiming for
Is that
portability.
gonna go in the same sachet?
Maybe I might have to
Some-
upgrade
or
to
you
like a
need,
double
like,
bag or
2
something.
sachets
Yeah,
now?
The
yeah,
never full
yeah.
man couple. That's-
My wife makes fun of me because I really do go through. I mean, I have a bit of a gadget addiction, right? And this
Uh-huh.
predates my interest in cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency has enabled me to like really go. I just redid my office. I've probably spent, I mean, I don't want to brag, but I've overspent a little lately. I decided I'm going to focus on like getting back into music this year.
Yeah.
So I bought a new piano. I bought a new I've spent probably like
You
I-
bought pianos? Pianos are free.
no, I bought like it's a nice one. It like hooks up to the
No, not
computer
free.
and stuff. You know, I mean, yeah, free.
To do this.
Uh,
I know a
wants
lot
that.
of people that want to get rid of their.
Yeah,
piano.
that's-
Yeah.
You go to Craigslist, free piano.
I know.
There's hundreds.
I know, they just want to get rid of them. They just
Yeah.
don't
The
want
problem
to-
is a lot of those, like especially the upright ones from 30, 40 years ago, they actually they have a pretty short lifespan. A lot of those are like at the end of their
Oh, really?
lifespan where you can't effectively tune them back to like a in tune
Oh.
piano where it'll stay in
really?
tune for very long.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there's just the wood's too warped and stuff like that. So not all of them. I mean, it's not, it depends.
No,
So a lot of the cheaper ones though, because they use like poor quality wood and they don't seal it well. And stuff.
So you got an electronic one, the ones that record. and
Yeah, it's pretty
add-
portable too. I can like pick it up and carry it around. I mean, it's like a full 88 keys, but I can just pick it up
I
and.
think we need sound effects for the next
That's,
meeting.
all right. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I'll see what I can
I
do.
mean, since you have it, it's kind of necessary.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like shuffling out,
did real well. Thank
I'm,
you very,
I'm selling
very
some
much.
old gear, right? Like I'm selling some of my old gear, buying some new gear to replace it. I've gone a little wild. So
Well, our guest is brand new to the space.
Yeah.
So she's here to find out more, and she's plugged into the right group, so we'll get her educated. But Eric, what have you been doing, my friend? Chime in, what's going on, or what are you doing?
Oh, man. So are you guys in the same location, just in an office room?
Yeah,
Mhm.
in the
Okay,
boardroom.
cool.
Yeah.
I've been like through crypto university in like the last like 3 weeks. I would say not even a
Oh.
month now, but I've
Okay.
jumped in and I've experienced everything good and bad. More so good, not so much as bad. So yeah, I'm yield farming, getting some NFTs. I found some NFTs I can stake for yield farms. Got caught up in a honey pot. I'm still
Okay.
trading options. I mean, I'm doing it all.
I hear you, brother.
hey, do you know much about Polygon?
No, I'm mainly on Chronos Network right now, so I'm doing everything Chronos
Is that Kronos with a K?
with a C.
C?
So
Okay.
it's crypto.com, but it's the
Right,
token is
yeah,
Chronos, and that's the network.
token, yeah.
But yeah, some amazing yield farms I'm doing and staking and learning all about that and staying up too late for mints and launches and
Yeah.
fun.
Of,
I know.
Speaking of crypto.com, just curious what you thought of the crypto.com ads. I think they had one during the Super Bowl, and then I guess Coinbase had one too that was like just a bouncing QR code that if you scanned it, it went to Coinbase.com.
I know. Well, I don't have TV, but I know that the one with the QR broke their website because too many people were.
I mean,
do it
I
through the
think
QR.
everything breaks Coinbase's website though. That's kind of a meme at this point. It's like there's sort of a running joke about anytime there's a big price swing, either up or down, that Coinbase is down. They do not have the most reliable platform. I think really what it is that they're one of the largest crypto exchanges
That's what it is.
in the world, and anytime there's big
It's
swings
user-friendly.
like that, there's an amazing number of people. Like, I mean, I don't think people realize just the number of people using the site and like the type of resources required.
The biggest in the US, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Binance
either
is the
them-
biggest.
Biggest.
in the world.
Yeah. Binance is the biggest in the world. It's either Coinbase or Gemini.
Oh, Gemini hasn't caught up with.
Yeah, I
Coinbase
don't.
yet.
But I'm pretty
But
sure it's
they're
Coinbase. They
gonna.
got a pretty
I
early
think, I
start.
think they're gonna. In my
They're.
experience, I was using Coinbase and I completely switched to
Oh
Gemini.
yeah. Are you
I-
using Active
I-
Trader on Gemini
Uh,
to save on fees? It's like more of a like advanced interface.
yeah, it's like Coinbase Pro.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet. It's not like I do pretty simple stuff though.
Yeah.
I just
It's not a big difference, but I mean, like it definitely adds up. I feel like it adds up over time.
yeah, couple of dollars each time. But yeah, I kind of like the ethos of Gemini a little bit more than the Coinbase, but that's
I like
That's
the ethos of
superstition.
Kraken the most, but I can't use them in Washington State.
we
so,
can't use Kraken here.
Why?
We have weird laws here, so
I mean,
Insurance commissioner.
for
allows
liking
so much.
ethos, I like the
Hardest states
Borges
to
one.
Get on board with.
Shapeshift?
things like
oh,
that.
shapeshift, yeah,
That one,
Every state
that's
is
beautiful what
Yeah.
he's trying to.
totally.
I
I
had
like
one bad experience with them.
different.
in that
Washington
Some
State
stuff they
wouldn't
changed it
necessarily
reconfigured,
have
and one of my
it,
wallets
like, say, South
disappeared,
Carolina.
and then it was ugly. I solved it eventually, but it left
And you'll
me
find
with
out
such
it's
a.
not really significant.
Yeah,
just
it was-
depends.
Yes,
Usually
bad,
here's
bad.
what you
So
say.
I thought I'm gonna
These
let them
exchanges
figure it
are
out for a little bit
not-
longer.
you cannot
They
replicate.
decentralized everything with
Did
it.
they? Nice.
Oh,
I think they kind of
completely.
had to, right? Like that's because otherwise eventually the government's
You'll
gonna be like,
learn that those exchanges.
Well, they
have
they
because they're not from what I remember. It's been a while since I've used Shapeshift. From what I remember, they were not collecting really any info on people or anything like that. So yeah, you
no
gotta.
collecting info,
Yeah.
relatively low fee, like everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, but they
You don't own the wallets.
Oh, yeah.
following.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
they do
Plus,
what
you know
they're.
that.
And if they do, I do have some of those
That's why the education is very
DAO
important.
tokens
Yeah.
That's why we
that
focus
they
on,
generated when they
all
decentralized.
aspects of it, because some
I should
people
see if
just
they're
wanna
hiring.
buy
I'm
it
kind of on
themselves.
on the job
So
search
there's ways
now.
they can
So
prove themselves a lot
I don't wanna
more
be, but I am.
if that's what you're interested
So,
in. We can point them in the direction of what we know.
Well,
to
if you
give
hear
back to good work.
About them
And, you know,
wanting
there's
to hire
cloud-based, there's companies
community
that
college
have those
instructor,
opportunities as well.
let me
You just
know,
have
'cause
to-
absolutely.
I'm actually pretty good with computers. I can
Well,
code
Yeah.
and stuff.
Nice.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
You're a part of, you know, you can Google it,
I don't
you're a
really
part
want to be
of
looking
it,
for a new
like
job,
that.
but unfortunately,
We were also,
it's not really feeling
part
the
of
current. They're making some weird
This
decisions.
is a good
on-
moment.
Yeah, right. Like, and I feel like that this could be a good opportunity. So.
Money.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
So
feel
the
like
bottom line, you just wanna
this
be
is
both ways.
I know.
hard to
We're,
follow for our.
yeah,
for our guests.
sorry, guys. I'm sure this is not the most enthralling.
So this is why-
Well, there's a lot of conversations going on, so I'm like picking up a little bit from Ernest, and
Oh,
No,
sorry.
you're fine.
but I did want to interject based on what Dan asked me before and what I heard Ernest say is crypto.com, they actually have a DeFi wallet, so you can get off of the centralized exchange, and then you can. There's no cost from going from their main app to the DeFi app, and then from there it's you're free.
Have you gotten into all of that DeFi and stuff?
I'm already in one project already,
Oh, yeah?
G999.
Hmm.
G999, and it's got everything. I got tokenized real estate in Dubai. I got DeFi savings account already set up. You know, we have our own metaverse. We have our own virtual world where you can actually duplicate and actually be paid. How do you get paid? Staking master nodes. If you're a citizen in all countries, you get a percentage without ever trying to become a mayor, a senator, a governor, vice president. that just means more
Mhm.
if you're in those positions. So it's amazing. And it's like self-contained within the membership and everybody benefits. because
Actually,
we're
I'm
all-
gonna write that down.
You guys are on Metaverse?
Yeah, write it down. I'll give you the white paper for it.
Yeah.
Associated white paper. I'll give you the white paper. Yeah, we have our own work network. And it's gonna be,
Is that like its own DAO?
what?
Is it its own DAO?
Yeah,
They
we
said-
have,
Autonomous DAO?
yes, on its own. We're
Okay.
just starting our own smart contracts too. So we got everything that everybody else has, but they don't have everything that we have because we have it right now.
Yeah.
And-
Which
Right
one
now.
is it again?
Okay, I'm gonna give you the information, www.g999main, all one word, .net. You can go to all of the major coin exchanges. We have been trading since December 1st of 2020 on every major coin exchange. We just save more because we're members within internal, but our coin is out there publicly. Here, let me open it up for you, brother, because it locks, this one locked. This one locked. No, you're all good. No problem. You're good.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what the hell was going on, but I just logged out and logged back in and I'm able to speak now, I guess, or I'm unmuted. That's good.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Especially-
You're a little quiet, but not that bad.
You just don't think it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I could get my
Oh.
headset.
Thank you. Oh, I'll find it. It's somewhere in here.
I was gonna say I could offer you mine, but I don't think an Apple Pencil will work on a, that's like crossing the streams, trying to use an Apple Pencil on a Microsoft Surface. Actually, here, I'm kind of curious, try it. Try it, see if that works. I don't think it
No,
will.
it doesn't work. I've tried many
Have you?
times.
Okay.
You might turn it into a Linux.
I know, right? Yeah.
My wife is an Apple.
She a Mac person?
Yeah. I prefer.
I have it because I just need to know.
How do you get along? No, I'm
Yeah,
just
man.
kidding.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
My
if I
wife-
cut
my
you off
wife-
halfway-
My wife is an Android person. She has
Really?
a Mac and a PC though. She doesn't really like she doesn't care so much on the computer side, but she really does not like Apple like phones or tablets. She much prefers, she has a Samsung phone that she loves, and her tablet, she has like actually she has an iPad, but only because she draws. And so if she didn't draw on it, because she does really like the Apple Pencil for drawing, she does like digital art and stuff like that. But I thought about getting her a Surface. They're a little more expensive. And she doesn't really need a full-fledged computer to draw on. So anyway.
And she's probably not as gadgety as you.
Oh,
I like this one. I use it for teaching. It's very good.
very few are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like probably 99th percentile of like, oh, look at this dumb shit that I don't need and I'm gonna buy anyway. Is it electronic?
It fits in my satchel.
For a while I was so here's why I don't trust any reviews on Amazon, because for like a year or two, several years ago, so I started out just by doing it for free. I just was bored, so I like reviewed a bunch of shit that I bought on Amazon, and then next thing I know, companies are reaching out to me and offering me free shit in exchange to review them. And so I'd buy the stuff, leave the review, and then they send me a refund for what I paid for it. Sometimes they'd even throw in an extra $5 or $10. And I stopped doing it because like a lot of the places started reaching out and they'd say, if somebody reached out and says, hey, we've got this product, first of all, it'd have to be something I actually am interested in. It can't just like, it's like, oh, an electronic hair curler. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good on that. Although I do ask my wife sometimes, like, hey, she actually has a lamp in her office that I got for free for reviewing. It's like a $70 LED lamp. The reason I stopped doing it though, is a lot of the places started reaching out and saying, hey, instead of saying like, hey, buy the thing, leave a review, and we'll reimburse you, they'd say, hey, buy the thing, leave a 5-star review, and we'll reimburse you. And I'm like, because like, not every product is
You
5,
can't get to it.
Yeah, that's against their terms.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with some Amazon stuff myself right now, and there needs to be a movie about like the dark side of selling and buying on Amazon.
Oh yeah, dude, there's so
some
much
crazy
shady
stuff.
shit out there. There's stuff like I don't know if you've seen this. I'm sure at least one of you have seen this. You go and you look at a review, an item that has a lot of really positive reviews, like usually thousands of 5-star reviews. And then you scroll down to actually read the reviews, and the text of the reviews, and if there are any like pictures or anything like that, are very clearly all about a completely different product.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what these sellers do is they are able to change the product page after the reviews are on there. And that's such an obviously easy loophole that Amazon could close, but they don't, because it makes shit sell better.
I was on the seller on Amazon for years, and we weren't I'm not to say, but we weren't those people.
Yeah.
But it was amazing though, how people say, oh, I didn't get my package. And for our side, we didn't want a low review.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you know, they're probably holding the package as they're typing this.
Oh, I'm at war with some other sellers right now. Like, people are filing fake authenticity complaints, and the Amazon's frozen like 5 figures of my inventory right now.
Yeah, they have you by the balls. They control everything with Amazon.
That's why I stopped. I was doing Amazon. For a while, for about a year, I got fired from a job. This was like 8 years ago. I was fired from a job after me and like 6 other people tried to start a union. And so I was just like, I didn't want to go back to be a cubicle monkey for a while. And so I decided that I was going to just do my own thing, And so for about a year, I did a lot of weird stuff for money. I sold Bitcoin for money. I bought and sold Bitcoin. I had an eBay store where on eBay I would sell mostly like computer electronics and camera stuff that I would find at like estate sales or Goodwill or whatever. And then I had an Etsy store. The Etsy I would sell mostly like housewares and vintage stuff that I'd find at those same places. I bought I do like arbitrage. I'd look for like clearance items that I could sell for more on Amazon, that kind of stuff. That's what I'd sell on Amazon. And I did that for about a year. At one point I bought a storage unit and went through it and sold all the stuff. Like a lot of it, I sold a lot of it on Etsy. There was a box of like DVDs in there that actually, some of them were hard to find. I probably made $500 or $600 off of that one box of DVDs alone. But man, it was hard work.
Yeah.
I had so many like 12, 14, 15-hour days. So in that storage unit, man, like, first of all, like, I think I'm too empathetic to do shit like that too, because I'm sorting through this lady's shit, and I mean, like, I'm almost in tears at points, right? She's got pictures of her family and shit, and it's like, you figure she's either dead or like in a home, and it's just like, that's fucking sad, right? Yeah, and it's just like, and I thought about like, because I mean, she had like fucking mail in there with her address on it and stuff. But then, like, how weird is that? That she was an elderly Black lady, so some like old like young white dude shows up, like, yeah, got all your shit here. I mean, I don't know. I could see that going like one of two ways, And I just decided, as tempting as it was, because I felt like that, maybe they would appreciate getting some of that stuff back. I hung on to a few things though. I think of her every time. I have it's like a wooden placard hanging in the kitchen that says it's like I'm a badass or something like that.
And it's hers?
Yeah, it was hers.
Oh,
I kept it hanging up in the kitchen. So
it's like an ode to her.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Oh, I love that.
But yeah, I have mad respect for anybody that does that kind of stuff. It's hard. I couldn't do it.
I bet, especially people's pictures. That is because you can't help but go through them.
Yeah, my business partner, he's been doing Amazon fulfillment in the estate sales for years, Kyle. And he has a thrift store in Ferndale.
Oh, does he? Is that the one in the Carnation building?
Yeah.
Nice. Wow, that's cool. I
to-
didn't realize that Kyle owned that, man. That's awesome. I've been meaning to stop in there. Hey, how's it going? Feel free to. Do you want to? If you're not using your laptop, do you want to join the meeting on there? And then that way, maybe it's a little easier for people to see. And then I can pass off the host to you once you join.
Okay.
I'm actually going to Eric and David. I'm going to disconnect from the audio just so that we don't get feedback when. Let me join here. So
Sounds good.
Figure out how to disconnect from audio without.
Just mute yourself.
Well,
So you can mute and then make them co-hosts, and then they can take over.
Did you? Nice. I might want to actually pick your brain about that though, because it would be nice to take
Because don't you make any good?
All right, can you see everybody, Eric?
Yeah, I see and I hear your audio just fine.
Check one,
Am I
two.
muted? Well, I guess I better turn on my camera.
Do you have a better?
Yeah, it's still on Dan's camera. Now I see your camera.
Okay, we need some volume.
Oh, no, now.
Let me make you the host.
So why we muted?
Eric, can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Eric?
Yeah,
Unmute
I'm hearing you just
yourself.
fine.
Okay. Okay,
Cool.
awesome. Cool. All right, so that should be a better look at, well, we can see you guys anyway. You can see most of us there, right? Let's see. I think that's good.
We don't need to see you.
Right, no, shut up.
Wait a minute, have I grown in size now? I don't need to be on the big screen.
Oh, that's-
Sorry, nice to meet you.
Erica.
Yarika, nice to meet you.
Erica with a one.
Oh,
Are you
Yarika, gotcha.
guys here for the first time?
My daughter's name is Erica. So, hi, Erica. I'm Ernest.
Yarika.
Eureka.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yarika with a Y.
Okay. Eureka. Nice to meet you.
And it was Audrey?
Audrey, you were here before. Audrey. You came.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you look kind of familiar. I think I was.
This
on the
is your
street.
wife? Your wife?
Oh.
Okay. I will leave that one alone then. Well, nice to meet you. She's honest.
Yeah, so we can, Eric, we can see you on the big screen now. So,
All right, I'll try to keep it professional.
yeah, I was gonna say not to put you on the spot or anything. Don't.
Well,
I can start doing some diagrams up here.
I see your
If you need a present
whiteboard back
or
there.
anything.
Yeah, you can give us a demonstration, brother.
See, you buy
I
and
actually like that whiteboard manner.
And you
Is
sell
that in your
high.
house or is that-
That's in it's my spare conference room.
That's what I've been doing wrong this whole time. I've been buying high and selling low.
Yeah, you got to buy low, sell high. Yeah, I call it my white room. It's just like whiteboards everywhere. So it's kind of where to get all my insanity out of my mind and put it into
Your
physical
think
form,
tank,
and then
your
I
think
read
tank. I hear
it
you,
into
brother.
something productive.
Hey, Eric, have you thought about starting a cryptocurrency YouTube channel with that awesome advice? To,
You know what? I
buy
think I'm
low
gonna
and
mint some
sell high.
NFTs on it first. So you can buy a nickel NFT, and then you can sell a dime token. I don't know. I'm freeforming here. Forget about it.
Can you guys still hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys some questions. I'm gonna have to leave soon because my aide
Okay,
is.
all right. Well, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
So does anybody use Anchor protocol?
I do not. I've heard of
Okay.
it, but I've never used it.
No.
Yeah, it has like almost a 20% yield or something like that on
Oh, wow.
what is it? The Terra stable coin. I actually,
USDT?
it's not, it's UST. It's not USDT, which is Tether, it's UST.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I'm trying to figure out whether or not to use it. I did sign up for a
Is
hold
it
on account.
sorry, David, I don't mean to interrupt you. Is it ANCHOR? I'm gonna look it up here real quick.
Yeah, Anchor like Anchor. It's a Korean company created Terra, and I guess the Anchor protocol is something that runs on their blockchain or something. I'm not 100% sure on all the details, but I know it's got around a 20% yield rate, which is good. And the other thing that go ahead.
So yeah, looking it up, I mean, so it looks like it's on Bybit, it's talking about how it's a low volatility yield of just under 20% when taking the anchor rate into account, whatever that is. I don't know, I'll have to look a little more into that. I mean, it sounds interesting. I will say generally, David, you know, the advice that I give to most people is if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And, you know, I mean, if you decide to do it, I would say just be very wary of how much you put in. If they're saying 20% yields, throw in, you know, whatever your risk tolerance may be, maybe $500 if you have $500 to play with and you're not going to be too burnt if that just disappears. Maybe throw it in there, see if you're actually getting that yield after a while. then try taking your initial investment out and just gaining yield on the yield for a while, and then try pulling all that out. If you're able to do all that, then maybe throw like, you know, a couple grand in or whatever. I don't know. Like I would be very cautious, and I'd be really methodical about how you're putting your money in and out there if you decide to do anything with it.
I'm gonna have to do more research into Anchor protocol. I did put 75K into HODLNOT, which is they give you 50,000 USDT and USDC. You can get 12.73% APY on those, and then DAI, you can get up to 25,000. I mean, and it starts lessening after 25K, but with DAI, you can get 8.3%. And I'm gonna get. Does anybody have or cover through Nexus Mutual Insurance?
No.
I do have a Nexus account, and know a little bit about that.
What is that?
Okay, did you get any cover for your funds?
You know, I didn't take advantage of that because you know what? It's still not confirmed.
Well,
okay, they talk about providing insurance because people hear that.
Well, yeah,
but
and if nobody's collected on it yet,
nobody's collected on it yet.
So, and I have so many questions about that. I mean, like, are they insuring your custody? Like, you're custodying your own coins, and then they're insuring it? Because I can see that being
it's not.
Yeah.
So Nexus Mutual
that's probably more professional than what I was going to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, be careful, brother. That can be a nightmare. I have a Nexos account. I have a little bit in there, but I'm still learning myself. But what I have learned up to this point and heard up to this point is not active yet.
Well,
So to me, that's
Nexo
like
and
a tip.
Nexus Mutual are two different companies. Like Nexo's a
Well, the one you're talking about, they're talking about, that's what they're grabbing people's attention on, is insuring.
right.
And like I said, I mean, insuring, you say be very, very careful, brother, because
like when you insure,
they're supposed to have a company that will insure people's accounts.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll tell you the way it works. So it's a mutual company and members. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you the way it works. It's a mutual company, and you know, it's like $5 worth of ETH or something to join.
Yep.
And then as a member, you can become an assessor, and the assessors vote on whether to pay out claims or not. They have paid out some claims and they've denied claims as well. And the two for HODLNOT and like CFI accounts, they'll protect against a hack and the customer loses more than 10% of their holdings. Or if you're unable to withdraw for over 90 days, then they're supposed to pay out. But again, it's the payouts are voted on by the assessors. So it's not ideal.
That sounds like super, I don't know, that sounds super opaque and murky. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that I feel like the insurance is already like that enough, and then you're just adding another layer of obfuscation in an already sort of black box system.
Well,
I'm not knocking it necessarily. I actually have their website up right now. I'll read a little more into it, but you know, I think what's I don't know that quite a bit.
It's not ideal. I know it's not ideal, but like, I mean, I feel like I want like if I want the high yield rates in a CFI account, there's no FDIC insurance. So this is like the only thing you can get, you know? So.
I'm sorry, Ernest, I gotta share this with you, man. One of their advisors told me that guy doesn't look like John C. Riley. Shake and bake.
No. That's crazy. Just be careful, brother. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, I gotta see Ricky's brother here. Can you show me, Dan?
I don't know if here. I don't know if you can.
Oh, hell yeah, definitely.
Right, like
maybe that's actually him.
I mean, that's one thing. Now, I'm not saying this is, but that's one thing that I have seen is where people will pull pictures for like scam websites and stuff. I remember
be very careful.
There was a Nintendo coin scam going around a couple of years ago where like, oh, Nintendo's launching a coin. No, they aren't. You know, spoiler, no, they weren't.
But you could sure send ETH and Bitcoin to the guys who were acting like Nintendo, and they did that. They pulled a bunch of pictures of like well-known Nintendo people, and then also some like famous like esports and other like actors and stuff that are known as gamers. And so all these people are involved, and it's like no.
Okay, let me ask one more question before I have to go. So, some of you guys like using like crypto.com, right?
Yeah, crypto.com. Yeah, that's a really common platform. Yeah.
So any pros and cons, like any cons, I guess, first of all, with your experience?
I can tell you based on my experience. I've signed up for Coinbase. I had a lot of deposit issues and verifications. They both did KYC. But crypto.com, the first 30 days, at least when I signed up, it was free deposits, no transaction fees. I could do a credit card. I could do a virtual credit card. I did a debit card. All of them were available to immediately trade to the DeFi app, and then I could transact immediately. I also did a bank wire to them, and it showed up, and it was available the next day.
So after the 30 days, do you have to pay, like, I just got a Coinbase debit card, which gives you on most transactions, you can get 4% back in XLM. If I were to fund my Crow card with the Coinbase card, would there be a fee? It's a debit card. So would there be a fee for funding the Crow card?
Probably not. I mean, they did after the 30 days, I think they charge 3% for deposits via credit or debit.
Oh, they do. So there's a 3% charge. Like even if you just want to put like USD or
it usually get charged at 3%.
Yeah, because they're probably running it as a credit like cash advance transaction.
Right.
So there are fees associated with it.
oh wow. So that sounds not that great.
You fund it
Well,
with the fake dollar, the USDC,
yeah.
that's Coinbase, and you don't pay commission on that one.
Right, but I think he's talking about using that debit card to then buy on another platform, like with the Coinbase debit card being the purchasing card. So when you run that transaction, I think that
It will
is
be.
charged.
That will be.
So how do, if they charge you 3% to use a debit card to put funds on your Crow card, is there a way to not pay a fee and get funds
There's
on your
not
Crow
really
card?
any way to buy Bitcoin with a debit card that I know of. It's all, even if you use a debit card, every platform that I know of runs that as a credit cash advance. So it's the same code like on the back end as if you were doing a cash advance on a credit card, even though it's a debit card.
I'm just talking about putting like any US. So with a Coinbase card, it's a similar.
No, I know, man. I'm like when I say crypto, that includes stable coins.
Right.
I mean, any kind of crypto transaction on a credit card, be it Bitcoin, Stellar, whatever, some kind of any other kind of altcoin, or like Tether, USDC, GUSD, all that stuff. It's going to run through when the card transaction is processed. It gets processed like a credit card. And then that's why there are fees with it. I don't know of any platform.
Well, but there are no fees with Coinbase though. You can ACH.
Right. Well, yeah, but that's ACH. I'm talking about with the debit card transaction.
Right.
It gets run as a credit card. So yeah, there are other ways that you can do.
What if you bought like USDC, or what if you had you got USDC? And then transferred it to can you put that on your Crow card without paying a fee?
So David, I'm not sure what you mean by putting on your Crow card. So what I did is I opened up a crypto.com account. For the first month, they waived the 3% deposit fees. So I used Boeing Employee Credit Union debit card, got it for free. And then I used my Wacom Educational credit card. They waived 3%. Now I have that fiat amount in my crypto.com. I can convert it to whatever I want. So I can convert it to Crow, or I can convert it to USDT, and then I can transfer for no fees from that crypto.com app to my crypto.com DeFi app.
Okay, so but it sounds like you have to pre-fund it, and otherwise
You have to buy USDC somehow. or USD. So you're
Right.
not loading the card, you're loading your centralized exchange account, and then you can move it to the DeFi account, but it's not like a prepaid credit card.
Yeah, all right. I guess I'm gonna have to look into it more because it's still, I mean, that's a lot worse than I thought. Because I was, you know, if you put like 4,000, you can get 3% back with the Crow card. If you put 40,000, you know, in Crow stake 40,000, then you can get 5% back with the Crow card on purchases. But if
You're
it's
talking
gonna
about
cost
loading up the
3%,
Crow card and staking it for 100 or 180 days and getting staking credits.
no, so
That's
there's
an option, but I mean, I'm making way more in my yield farms. I really don't care what the deposit fee is or
okay.
whatever. I mean, I've doubled some money here in 3 weeks, so 3%
Yeah.
isn't.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to look into it more because it's
It's like a tip, brother. Like a tip.
what's that?
It's a toll fee. You gotta pay the
It's a
toll.
toll fee. There you go.
Yeah.
Tip
well,
toll
that-
fee. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot higher than at other places. So, and by the way, if you use Gemini's API, you can get 0.1% on trades. So it's real, but you got to use like either Python script or Amazon Web Services. Like you can get a free account and then send orders to the Gemini API. That's the best price on that I know of on trades that you can get because 0.1%. I mean, it's pretty damn low. So. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go, but thanks for the meeting, guys. And
Thank you, David. Thanks for attending, sir.
Yeah, thanks, David.
You're always welcome, brother.
thanks, Ernest.
right.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
You guys have a good night.
You too,
Yeah,
sir.
you too, man. See you next month.
Okay, see you. Bye.
So as you can see, there's a lot of interest, different ways, and education is key. You just have to be careful, don't put anything more out than you can afford to, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to try somewhere.
Well, somewhere to stop, right? It's just kind of like somewhere to like stop.
Well, for those that want to trade,
Yeah.
again, this space.
It's
No,
not,
no.
okay.
Well, I mean, to get
Depends on what you-
to get a company listed in the stock exchange, it's not automatic, right? Like companies need to
Fill out an
fulfill
application,
certain,
Right, right.
accounting.
$15 million
requirements,
probably,
yeah,
Because anybody can go create a crypto coin now, and you can go on Binance.
The
and
idea-
that's your own.
What I'm saying is like, I'm not saying that all companies in the stock exchange are legit. There's probably a bunch of
Sure.
scams there, but like the barrier of entry is much lower in crypto, and
Okay.
therefore you're gonna get a much higher return.
Okay.
What I'm saying, it's not the same level of caution that you have to have in stock. It's way more. Yeah. Because honestly, most projects. So a lot of projects are scams, and a lot of projects are going to fail because they're absurd. Only a few of them are actually.
Wait, you mean like DentaCoin is like a
There's a lot of stuff there.
like a cryptocurrency geared specifically towards dentists? I mean, come
I'm
on.
saying there's I mean, and I applaud it. It's a relatively new industry, and there's a lot of like bright-eyed kids who think that they're going to invent something in the world, and they believe it. It's just really absurd what they're trying to do. And it's going to fail. Just like in real life, just like it's the difference in crypto is that like basically if you try to start a business, if you try to invent a new type of airplane, a new type of machine, a new something, you need something physical. So you have some physical barriers that are stopping you from, and that sort of helps filter out a bunch of completely inviable stuff. Just because, well, you're not gonna get enough metal to do that. Thankfully, it's a bad idea. In crypto, the only input really is the time of the people involved. How long they're gonna be in front of the computer and do things, right? Which which means that, again, it lacks that fundamental filter that reality imposes on tangible goods. So,
Can I ask another question since I am so new? Is it something like the only thing I can kind of think of is like a health stock, so if you transfer your money into your account and you can go in with whatever company you want, how much. So is it similar to stocks as far as you want to buy it and set it, or is it totally depend?
I mean,
Like if you research and you feel like it's a solid coin, obviously maybe it's not the best deal, but you feel like it's more for like a long term. Or is it something you want to constantly be watching because it's
yeah, I don't like to, I mean, personally,
Yeah,
I got, you know, I got a life, you know what I mean? Like, I have a job, I'm on the board of directors of a nonprofit here in town, I run this meetup, you know, like, I got a bunch of shit going on, like, you got kids, sounds like, you know, you guys, everybody's got stuff going on. If you wanna sit in front of the computer or on your phone or tablet all day,
That's
I mean, my brother, one of my older brothers does that, he does it more with stocks, cause he's, you know, a boomer, he's not into Bitcoin, but like, he'll sit on this goddamn laptop all fucking day, and that's all he does. And it's like, I don't know, I mean, I'm more interesting than that personally.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
more interesting.
Well, it's good to hear, so you don't have to constantly watch
No,
it.
I mean, you
No,
can, you
you can.
absolutely can. I mean,
Yeah.
there are people that day trade stocks too. right?
Yeah. and I
It's
would-
just
yeah.
like,
I feel like if you're into something that comes with 20% yield, you kind of have to constantly watch it.
Yeah.
But
well,
can you
that's-
set
yeah.
alerts on your phone?
You
Like,
can,
oh,
sure,
like,
yeah, there are
okay,
apps,
okay.
there are apps that'll, you can set price alerts one way or the other. You can say
Yeah.
if it swings, you know, more than 10 or 15% in either direction, make a thing.
But that's pretty typical though, isn't it? Is there a lot of volatility?
Not that
No,
much. I
okay,
mean, like
okay.
10 to 15% in a day is pretty rare.
Mhm.
Like 20%, you know, there are definitely some days where it happens, but like those are not common days, you know.
Okay.
Most days it's around, like right now in its current range, a 10% swing is about $3,000. So like, you know, it usually is about 110%.
Okay. So once you get into it, you can just like,
I mean, I'm mostly a Bitcoin only guy, so that makes it really easy for me. I just buy it.
And then, like, you know, you probably heard of altcoins. Well, 98% of them are crap.
A lot of them are garbage,
You know what I'm saying? So you just, you know, I mean,
Or
again,
they're-
you have that kind of time.
or they're just for fun,
Right.
you know. But even the just for fun ones, I mean, people that bought Dogecoin
Make a little
way
money.
back in the day just for fun and actually held on to it all this time.
Make a little money.
They've got some actual money now. And so, you know, tell them that the house that they bought with their Dogecoin earnings, tell them that that's, you know,
Yeah.
doesn't count, or that it's just for fun. Well, a fucking house, you know,
yeah,
like.
yeah. Think what you want, I don't.
Yeah,
care.
right, yeah, like it feels
yeah.
pretty real to me.
Yeah.
I live here, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, I wish my house was big off Dogecoin. I don't even like Doge, but hell, I would take it.
You would think.
I mean, it's better than paying the bank every month.
No, that's right. So it's a lot to learn. It just depends on, well, you got to get started.
Yeah,
So
and you
once,
have to know what you're getting out of it. Like, are you trying to double your money in a year? Well, then you're gonna have to take some risk and face the fact that you might lose it all. Do you believe in the disruption that is causing and
I do, yeah.
then think of it long term, right?
Yeah, that's how.
And then long term, that really matters with them. When you, yeah. I mean, I think both Dan and I have kind of bias in the say that long term is Bitcoin. But you do your own research. You might. So it's I did my homework. I studied it. I became convinced. I think it works. I tried several things. I think it works. And so when I see that it goes down 20%,
oh, you took off this picture.
it's like
I'm here. I was just having some internet issues. I don't know if it's my feed.
Oh yeah, you know, it's funny, Eric, because I was sitting there looking at your image and I was like, yeah.
This phone, this TV's on Wi-Fi. Yeah, thank you.
so the thing.
Yeah,
is
so
that
I figured rather than giving you my video feed, it might speed it
I
up.
know I still believe in this
Yeah,
So
no problem,
I'm
brother.
fine
Yeah, it's
with
just we have the doors closed here, so.
waiting for it to
For it
come.
to
And the
be-
smart
Yeah,
TV's
I
on
always
Wi-Fi,
that.
so.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm probably gonna drop off in
Canada
the end, so I'll hang in there for a little bit.
As long as it's not.
Okay, brother, thank you.
Because-
There's zero, there's
Good to
zero.
see you, man. Good
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
you.
because.
Yeah, good seeing you. Hopefully next time in person.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, you know, you're always welcome. You know, it's the first Monday of every month, so whatever works out, the weather's getting better, the more daylight, so.
I'm trying to do an outdoor event too.
Yeah, we're trying to do
Summer.
something away from the office here, hopefully this next time around, right?
Right now, it's more than that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't know if things are opening up. Aren't they like lifting all mandates and stuff in a couple days?
Exactly. So we got, I think March 12th,
As long as you don't see it.
the mandate outside in bigger places is being lifted.
Mhm.
If you've done your homework and you feel safe enough to play with color. Because so far, it's not passed. But of course. Actually, you will pay taxes. Right?
Well, I mean, even that, your giant solar flare tomorrow, we've all done, so.
Around-
Not to be a downer, but I mean.
Well, as long as you don't have an event where you convert that crypto into paper money
Well, or another crypto.
or another crypto, right?
Mhm.
That's like, you know, you owe
It's
me
your
some money.
taxable event.
That's a taxable event.
Anytime you do
yeah.
any kind of trade,
It's like a capital
trade
gain.
Bitcoin to ETH, then yeah,
Right.
well, so capital
Actually,
gains
it's
or
not-
loss.
It's not just,
So-
I think if you buy stuff with it. If it's more than $600, you pay back.
Exactly.
Even if it's
Actually, if it,
stuff.
even if it's under, you're technically still supposed to. It's just kind of one of those things where like
They're
IRS
not
isn't
gonna
gonna
check,
get
yeah.
like.
under-
It's
You
really
know.
still new.
Now,
Yeah.
what I
So-
do to kind of get around that, I do my crypto reporting, what's called first in, last out. So like, basically what that means is when I go to compute my taxes, my crypto transactions all go based on what was the last amount of Bitcoin that I bought. When I sell my Bitcoin, that's what I compare that against. So like, the good news is that my gains aren't normally that much, right? It's like, if I last bought Bitcoin a month ago, normally what I do if I'm actually going to spend Bitcoin on something, what I'll do is I'll buy the Bitcoin, that amount of Bitcoin, or usually a little more, if I'm spending like $40 worth of Bitcoin on something, I'll buy $50 or $60 worth and then spend the $40 worth. And so because I buy it and spend it immediately, there's no gain or loss, right? Like it's, or if there is, it's extremely minor.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, it's fluctuated by like 10 cents, worth because of. we're talking
And
about
you
very small
do that
amounts.
to,
It just minimizes my tax bill.
Okay,
Because
okay,
when I go to do my taxes, which I still need to do.
I do too, no, I do too.
Me too.
I think it's called Coin Tracker. It's a service where I track all my crypto trades anyway. Like I use an app called Delta where I enter in every time I buy or sell cryptocurrency or buy and spend it on something. I track that. And so what I can do is I can export that into a spreadsheet and upload to the service.
Mhm.
And it goes through and just computes all.
So you're finding lots of places you can spend, would you pay, I mean,
I mean, I don't really spend it all that often,
Okay.
but like I donated some to charity last year. And that's beneficial because,
you got a double?
well, it's because, so the IRS considers it property, right? So it's the same as like if you donate a car to like Goodwill,
Sure.
you write off the value of the car. Well, Bitcoin is the same way. And because you're not actually converting it into anything, like it remains Bitcoin, I took my Bitcoin and I donated it in Bitcoin to the nonprofit that I donated it to. And then another company actually handled the conversion. So like, there was no real taxable event, right? Because like, I didn't sell the Bitcoin.
Yeah,
I just gave X many thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin. So I get to write off that full amount that it's worth. And then the company that handled the conversion, basically, they don't do any kind of gain or loss because
Yeah.
it's instantaneous. And then the nonprofit just gets the cash change. Falls into their check. So yeah, I mean, there are some advantages. Some places you can just spend it directly. Like there may have been a time or two where I paid somebody directly in cryptocurrency, and I don't, like I go to lunch with a friend or something, right?
kind of fun.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's how I got my first Bitcoin. That was 3 years ago. I went to lunch with a friend. He said, "Hey, I don't really do like cash or debit card. Do you mind picking this up and I'll pay you back for my half in Bitcoin?" So yeah, sure.
It's not interesting, yeah.
I didn't really get it for a while though, so like, I've probably bought and sold over 100 Bitcoin in my life. You know, just,
Yeah.
but it was all that, you know, most of it was back when it was worth.
When we were in Costa Rica, one of the classes was like, Swift was a cryptocurrency, and
No
the
way.
dad was
Like at
it-
their school?
Yeah, it was like there was surfer school, like it was so cool. It was so
Huh.
That's why we really.
Wait, it was a surfer school? They had-
Well, it was a school,
'Cause
but they
the-
only went 4 days a week, and they
Okay.
went 4 hours a day, and they just like graffiti classes. They just
Okay. Interesting, because the guy who originally brought Bitcoin down to El Salvador is a surfer. So
Oh, I
wonder
bet
if
he,
it's-
we lived in Taringa, which is like known for surfing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. It's not Mallers, there's somebody else that originally went down there and started the whole like Bitcoin.
Oh, the
if you
Bitcoin
Google
Beach.
Beach,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's that, I can't remember the guy's name,
exactly,
but it's a
yeah.
surfer who,
Yeah.
you know, he was the first one who started the whole, the like initial pocket of Bitcoin.
It's
then-
that mindset. I can see that surfer mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Very like, you know, I think that there's like a lot of overlap with people that are just, I mean, I don't like banks because I've been burned by them. You know, it's like
Yeah.
some of us just live through it or know people that have, and it's just like, yeah, I'm all about it. It's
Being unbankable.
Yeah. Or when you, I
Tell me
think
about yourself.
when you think in a different way,
Hey, I've
you
been
start
there
to see
too.
things a different way. You know what I mean? You start to see there's other ways to do things. Like, why are we doing this?
I have the same thing because in my modern times is central bank.
Oh, yeah.
So, like I come from a country where it was blew up because of Venezuela. So yeah, I do like trust. You may or may, but yeah, the power to do for me. I don't know who's enough of this. Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to, is even if, I think, you know, even if there's good people at the beginning, right? Like, let's say, I think it's very rare, but let's say that the people in control of the money printers when they're first, you know, like back in the 70s, I mean, Nixon was the one that really took us off the gold standard. So let's pretend that Nixon was a good guy. And you know, even had he been, it's just like, you know, the next generation, it's like probably no more than like 2 to 3 generations at most, it would become corrupted, you know, because that's what we do. Yeah,
And
humans
also
just are
right now,
garbage.
the people who end up with control of stuff
Except for all of you fine
have
people.
very specific careers that let them, right? Like people in control of the central bank, they have specific careers that let them to the central bank. So you have to be sort of trained for 40 years to become a central banker. Do you think that process? Like, who's gonna go? Who's gonna pass through that process?
It's sort of like the same people who rise to like the highest offices, right? Like, and I'm not, I think this personally, I think this statement applies to both parties, all parties. It's like the people who get up to the very, very top, they're like not the people who should be there. You know, it's like they're like usually the exact kind of opposite of the people who should be there. They're there because they are coming.
Exactly.
Because they are,
They
you know,
do.
manipulative. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, part of me wonders if we should just have like a random draft of like lottery style. You're the president and you've got, you know, five other people that also get drafted lottery style to oversee you and make sure you're not a fucking wacko. And if you are, then they get to vote to get you
Get
out
rid of
there.
it, yeah.
So,
Turns on everybody.
couldn't be any worse than we've got now.
Yeah, no.
And I, you know, again, I'm including the last, like, we'll just say 10 years. Yeah. You know, like, and I voted for Obama. I mean, I'll include Obama in that, but I feel like, you know, Obama, man, we're left now. Like, you know, just the same
I
old,
wasn't
same
in a
old.
position at that time to vote for it.
You know, I feel like that the
You know,
feckless inability.
well, at
of
that time I was
Obama-
dealing with the IRS.
I feel like Obama's
So I was
inability
in
to
a
actually
place
do
where
anything
they
is
were
what led
bracing
Trump.
for a major right.
He was the reason Obama got elected is
Because
because
of the
people wanted an
color
outsider,
thing. You know what I'm saying?
really shake things up and change the
But,
system.
you know, I'm here to tell
And
the story.
instead, what they got was like
In business, hopefully you don't have to deal with that, but I have.
Trump.
So I know what they're building to take care of it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I know.
It's like, yeah, technically it's a political
So
outsider.
4 luxury vehicles,
you
2
wanna talk
houses,
about, like,
and 3 businesses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy shits on a cold toilet, for Christ's sake. Like, I don't know that it gets any more elite than that.
I
Sorry.
know. No, but it's all good. So, but I understand.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, the idea that any of these people have, give a single fuck about normal folk
They
is
don't.
just laughable.
They take so many vacations during critical times.
Oh, yeah.
We're going on vacation.
Trump
Really?
spent eight years that Obama was president. Trump spent bitching about him golfing on Twitter. He ended up golfing in one term. He ended up golfing like a total of like 1 year's worth of time. It's like, come on. They're all like that. I'm sure Biden is golfing way too much too. It's like, can you motherfuckers do some work? Like, imagine if they got 2 or 3 weeks of vacation a year like most Americans.
I know,
And I'm sorry, President Biden, you're out of vacation, sir. Oh, I'm sorry, President Trump. It's like 2 months in. I'm sorry, President Trump, you're out of vacation. Oh, what, until next year? No, your whole fucking term, bro.
Yeah.
If you get reelected.
This is kind of a busy time right now.
Yeah.
I think we
I
can-
don't know if you've noticed, shit's kind of fucked up.
Well, we just have to become more educated, that's all. I mean, life has that journey, right? We figure it out, we'll never be able to control that perspective in politics. I mean, like you said, even you vote somebody that has good intentions. Once they get up there.
The current monetary system,
Exactly.
which people think like, oh yeah, we're going to disrupt the monetary system, which has been in place forever. No, the current monetary system has been in place since 1971. If you stretch the definition of the fiat system, you could see that it's from the 30s,
Mhm.
but it's definitely not 100 years old.
Mhm.
So that whole deal with the money printer, that's not so recent. And but it has always worked. As
It's like a couple of generations,
Right, it's
And-
not that
and
old.
think
And
about-
you could think of the problem accumulating and taking 50 years to explode.
I was just gonna
as
say,
they
think
explode.
about the last 50 years. Do you feel like the last 50 years that this country has been on an incline or a decline? And it's like, I think a really strong argument to be made that
Nah.
at least economically, that we had maybe you could call the 90s like a dead cat bounce.
Well, the quality,
like-
the quality of life in the United States has significantly.
Well, that's more of a, don't you think that's more of a byproduct of technology really?
Yes,
than,
I
than, like,
absolutely think
yeah,
that.
not
but
that like our actual.
I absolutely think that. It's just like,
And do you think it's like the consumer?
no, it's like nothing is real and money